I'm Joe Satriani.
I'm Kenny Aronoff.
We're from Chickenfoot.
And you're watching
Rockin' Live.
Rockin' Live.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey! All right! Wake up in the...
I mean, you know what? It's real simple. I was a little kid with a lot of energy. You know what I mean? You're hyper, running around, very athletic, and couldn't sit still. So I naturally I had a brother, twin brother. We played sports and ran around, and we were always into music. And my mom would teach us piano. But as soon as I heard when I saw a marching band come into my little town, I grew up in 3,000 people in the little town in western Massachusetts where I grew up. They'd have a marching band come for a holiday we have there. And when I saw that drum line, all the snare drums, they started going, I went, whoa. And I had my little bike, a big tire like that. I used to ride around, and I was naturally attracted to that kind of energy. And then when they ask you what instrument you want to play, when you're about 10 years old, 4th grade, I said I want to play drums. Of course, they give you this rubber pad. Thank you. They give you a rubber pad, you know what I'm saying, to practice. I was like, oh, that's not fun. And but pretty soon after the Beatles came to America, and that was it. The next week I had a band. All I had was a snare drum and a cymbal. My parents couldn't afford to buy me a drum set, so I formed a band, and it was a Beatles, Beach Boys, whatever was popular. And every Christmas, every birthday, I'd get a different drum. I was playing by the time I was 11 and 12, I was playing in little bands, and then Jimi Hendrix came on the radio, and that was that. I was like, wow. And because my parents played a lot of jazz, that was the music. My parents, they grew up in New York City, and they grew up listening to jazz, which was very popular back then. And classical music. So that's all I heard as a kid, a lot of that, and show tunes, a lot of musicals. So when I heard Hendrix, Mitch Mitchell was a jazz drummer playing rock and roll. He became my guy.
Things I'm thinking about, I say, wow, child. I'm all by myself, and I'm cracking up. Better get some rest up.
We have a good time. We do. Everybody is granted a license to kind of play however they want every night. So that makes every gig unusual. We do our best to remember the arrangements of things, the important parts of the song, but I guess we feel compelled to stretch out every night and to sort of bring some new energy to it. That is, for a band on tour, that is the single most important thing to create that feeling of a party happening. Because if the music isn't happening, then it just drags down the tour. No matter what, the transportation, the hotels, whatever's happening backstage. If it's not happening on stage, it doesn't work. So we put all the fun basically on stage and make sure that the audience experiences it with us.
I'm in a hurry, I'm on time all night, yeah. Be there in the morning, you can bet your ass I got more.
The whole thing is such a unbelievable thing. I mean, we're starting this show where I go out and I play these guitar chords all by myself. I can hear the crowd going crazy in anticipation for when the rest of the band kicks in. It's such a wonderful moment, and it feels like it's sustained throughout the whole show. It's great. Amazing energy. It's amazing. Here in Paris, the first time we played, our first European tour had 3 shows, right? The entire tour. But I believe the second show that we did was Theater Montmartre. I don't know if we're close to it at all. Right in the middle of July, hot, sweaty. I mean, equipment was breaking down, but I think that was the show where I really felt like connected to an audience, connected to the people here in Paris.
Was that the Chickenfoot or your show?
No, this is my show back in 1988. I'm just thinking about that since we're here in Paris. I mean, I remember that so clearly. We were so excited about being in Paris, John and Stu.
Stu and Ham.
Yeah, and we just couldn't believe how well we were received. It just really blew our minds because it was a struggle in the U.S. And we had done a great show in England, and we were going to do a kind of a boring show at the Montreux Jazz Festival the following night. So but this one really stood out.
Things are getting all hot. I'm running out of gas, baby. I gotta stop.
It'll be a surprise to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, before we hit the stage, we were improvising backstage. We're all playing together. We're plugged in. Kenny's got a teeny little rubber kit, and we never play the material. We're just jamming.
Yeah.
And we're just making things up. So, and then we put the instruments down and we walk right on stage. So we're already sort of warmed up, and we're sort of primed to come up with something new.
You know what a cool thing statement was? When we played a show, 4 songs at a show at Christmas time for a radio show, and a drummer, Greg Biznett, is a great musician drummer who's actually recorded with Joe on his solo record. And Greg, we were improvising and jamming. That sounds like we always do. Just start playing a beat. Joe comes up with these parts. You could probably hit record and we'd have a song. So Greg at dinner comes up to me and says, was that one of your songs that you guys wrote, or were you just improvising? That was the best compliment you could have gotten.
Yeah.
Because we were just improvising. But that's the kind of the mentality. He wasn't sure because it sounded so cool. That's the best. That's brilliant. Joe is Joe Satriani. This is his side project.
No, I do have a 3D concert movie that comes out this month, actually. We filmed it last year, and I know it's in about 500 or 600 theaters around the world. But
Really? In theaters?
Yeah, 3D, 7:1 sound. It's pretty crazy.
Moved up to 7.1 now?
The DVD comes out in the middle of March. And then we have one of our G3 concerts in New Zealand and Australia. That's in late March and early April. And then we get back together and we do some Chickenfoot touring. And Kenny, what are you doing?
Well, I do sessions. You know, I live in LA and I do recording sessions. So all kinds of different people hire me for different records, and I'm going to do a Johnny Cash special. It's being produced by Don Was in Austin.
Should be great.
Yeah, really find the best musicians for that kind of thing. We're going to go down there. So, you know, you could have anybody from John Mayer to Waylon Jennings' son, Shooter Jennings, to all the greatest country artists, some rock art. You know, it's going to be amazing. So that's one project. And I play with John Fogerty, who's, you know, from Creedence Clearwater. So I do that, some touring with him. I'm recording a duets record with him right now, with different famous
So I want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, Kenny and John together at last.
Oh, duets?
Yeah.
Me and John Fogerty together?
You're singing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Rolling down the river, rolling down the river. do, 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 do.
You do the Tina Turner part,
Yeah,
right?
I do the leg thing.
He has very nice legs.
Especially when I shave it. They're really cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, this is like being in a band. You're going to eventually see each other's legs. I don't know, I'm doing lots of different things. We're going to be I'm going to be in Australia when he's in Australia with John Fogerty. So, but I'm really looking forward to more Chickenfoot. That's what because of this band, that whole improvising thing, it's really, really, really important to me. Always has been. As a kid, I used to play jazz and blues bands, and we did all this improvising and jamming and listening, and I really, really miss that. I played on a lot of tours where the structure is there and you just play your part. That's cool. I appreciate that. Serve the song. And really, this is where my heart is the biggest, where you really can play songs and then you improvise and interact. It's the most best fulfilling feeling for me.